What's going on YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. And here we are at the end of Season 1 of Black Ops Cold War. A very touch and go season for me. There were many moments where I thought, frankly, I was going to stop playing this game. I was going to hang up the controller, hang up the headset, and just give up on Call of Duty. The real saving grace for me this season was honestly League play. That is where this game truly shines for me. I think it is the best thing to happen to the game, because right now public matches are just absolutely ravaged by the lack of weapon balance, because the LMGs, the tac rifles, and the dual pistols just plague that entire mode, and it's just a lot. It's not fun. It's very much not fun. It's so frustrating, and I was just done getting frustrated at the current meta, and until Treyarch intervenes, I don't really see myself spending too much time in public matches. I think I'm just going to spend the majority of my time in League play, where it feels like the SBMM is actually better. I'm getting more consistent lobbies, better connection. Everything to me in League play is just more consistent than what we get in pubs anyways. But the purpose of today's video is to actually go through Season 1 and take a look at the content we received and discuss if it's enough content to warrant their new trickle-down system. But if I'm being honest, guys, looking back at what we received, it's quite underwhelming. Now, I shouldn't really get too upset about it, because we did receive things like Gunfight, we received Rebirth Island, Firebase Z, we received 3 new 6v6 maps, and that's great and all. 2 new weapons, actually 3 new weapons with the Street Sweeper, 3 melee weapons. Like, there's a lot here. But in all honesty, a lot of this stuff that we received in Season 1 could have, in my opinion, or should have been in the launch game. Because realistically, the game launched with 8 maps. Then it got 9 with Nuketown. Then it got 10 and 11 6v6 maps with Raid added and the Pines. But after that, we're at Express, we're at 12 maps? Wow, that's a pretty good launch game at this point. 12 maps, 2 zombies maps. There's a lot of content there for launch price. But here we are 3 months after launch getting this, and I can't help but think that this was done on purpose, that Activision is not going to release the full game anymore. They're going to use Season 1 as their true launch for their games now, and they're going to provide as trickle-down content, so the mouth breathers believe in their heart of hearts that they're actually receiving more content, when the truth is they're not. This is content that should have been in the full game. This is content that should have been in the game at day 1, and the content that we're receiving in Season 2 should have been content we received in Season 1. It's very tough to tell me that you couldn't have League play in the game, you couldn't have Gunfight in the game, you couldn't, or Face Off, pardon me, in the game at launch. You're telling me you couldn't have 3 more maps in the game at launch? No, what they've done is they've essentially ripped stuff out of the initial game to give to us as part of their new system. Frankly, at this point in time, I would love to just have this stuff in the base game, have these 12 6v6 maps, have Face Off, have this stuff, and then pay $20, $25 for a map pack. Honestly, I feel that the old method, the old revenue stream for Call of Duty was just better and more player friendly, because everything that we're getting now is tagged as more player friendly, but frankly, it feels like we're getting less content. It feels like we're getting the shorter end of the stick. Developers aren't talking to us as much. There's less and less updates to the games. We're getting less and less content, both at launch and throughout the entire year. And it's just not good enough for players. And I look at what we've seen with the disaster that was Firebase Z, and the fact that there's still players out there that can't play it. How has that not been fixed? Treyarch back in the day would have been on top of that day 1, and we would have gotten some sort of developer communication, and we're just not receiving that. So in all honesty, we did get a lot of content in Season 1. We got some great things. League play, Face Off, some new maps, awesome, great stuff. But I fail to see at any point in time where it's been advantageous to us at all. Why could this content not have been in the launch game, in the base game? There's no evidence to support that for me, at least. And there is a track record of Activision doing this in the past with Destiny, and that was, in my opinion, one of the big reasons why Bungie left Activision, is because Activision does not care about the player base. They care about their bottom line, and that is it. And it's not like Call of Duty is siphoning money. The thing is making so much cash right now. They're boasting about it all the time. So why not make the games better? Why not allow there to be actual more content for the consumer? If you want to increase playtime, and you should you not be releasing more content at launch? Should you not be getting people engaged with your game at launch? Should you not work hard to fix the issues that are plaguing your game? That's the way I look at it. League play should have been in the game at launch. Face-off should have been in the game at launch. All these little things that we've seen in Season 1 should have been in the game at launch. Now, what we're getting with Season 2 actually has me excited. There's a lot of content here, but Season 2 should have been Season 1. And we should be talking about all the content we got in Season 1, seeing what we're getting in Season 2. So that's my opinion there on it. And frankly, it's good, it's fine, but it could be better. And like I said in an earlier video too during Season 1, the Battle Pass actually had some pretty good stuff in it. I still don't personally want to advocate for the Battle Pass at all because I think it has led to more anti-consumer and anti-player decisions, like the lack of weapon balance, the lack of updates, the lack of developer conversations, and the lack of content at launch. So all I see is, yeah, the Battle Pass is cool, but we're really losing a lot on our end, and that's not fair to the player base, and that's the way I look at it. So when it comes to Season 2's Battle Pass, I'm sure there's going to be some great cosmetics in there. I'm sure there's going to be some great free stuff. But do not buy it. Do not buy the Battle Pass in Season 2, because all you're saying to Activision is, I don't care, launch the next game with 4 maps and give me 8 maps by the end of Season 4 or whatever it is. Like, you're sending the message to Activision that what they're doing is working. But in reality, what it's led to is a less competent game, a less playable game, a game with less longevity. There's a reason why people can still go back to Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, COD 4 and enjoy those games, because those games were built to last. The new Call of Duty games are not meant to last. They're meant to make as much money as possible and to be dumped. It is a classic pump and dump scheme, if I've ever seen one in a video game before. It is about creating hype at certain points, and that is it. And hey, it works for their bottom line, but in all honesty, it's not going to work for the long term. That is my honest opinion. At some point, the bubble has to burst. At some point, it's gonna happen where the game's just gonna stop being enjoyable because we're not getting enough content at launch, because the DLC is just not worth it. Waiting 3, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months to get a complete game is just not worth it for players, especially with a game that has a year-long life cycle, and that's it. Call of Duty needs to figure their shit out. What do they want to be? Because in all reality, they're trying to be too many things right now, and I think it's going to blow up in their face. I think they'll make some great money in the process, but I think it's all going to blow up in their face. So, to kind of recap everything we've talked about in this video, Season 1, in my opinion, every little bit of content minus maybe Firebase Z should have been in the base game. Should have been there at launch. And it is absolutely ridiculous that it wasn't. If you couldn't have this stuff in at launch, then postpone the launch. It's that simple. I get it that you wanted to pair it with the next-gen consoles, but in all reality, there's no excuse that everything we saw in Season 1 couldn't have been in the base game, especially something like League Play. How it took them 3 months to put that in the game is always going to be beyond me. I might be a little bit excited for Season 2, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be buying the Battle Pass. I am still boycotting the Battle Pass. I'm going to be doing it again in Season 2 because I do not think that Activision has anyone's best interest in mind. They don't have the gamers' best interest in mind. They don't even have their investors' best interest in mind right now. They're thinking what's going to make us the most money right now. And if I'm investing in a company, I'm going to care about what it's going to be doing in 5-10 years. Because realistically, I'm not about short-term gains. I'm all about long-term gains. So what are you going to do for me in the future there, Activision? Because right now, you're walking a very steady line, and I think that things are going to start falling on your face very shortly. Because if you continue these practices, it's not going to work out well. Because more and more people are going to get fed up and leave. Less and less people are going to buy the game at launch. I made a video this week that people are outraged about leaks to Call of Duty 2021. Do you think that's a community that's happy about your game right now? Do you think that that's been ever talked about, how people don't like your games? Now this is another one. Again, You had Infinite Warfare that had an entire community against you that you had to release Modern Warfare Remastered with it just to bump up sales numbers. That's the only reason why that game did okay, was because Modern Warfare Remastered was tagged to it. Same thing's going to happen here with World War II or whatever the game is in 2021. It's already getting absolutely destroyed by the community. The community is not interested in what you're selling anymore, Activision, and you got to get your shit together. So, like I said, Season 1 should have been in the base game. Season 2 should be what we got in Season 1, so I'm excited for Season 2 because of that. Do not buy the Battle Pass. Do not support what Activision is currently doing, because they're robbing you from a better gaming experience because they want to increase their bottom line. And I don't think that's okay. And you shouldn't either. Anyways, guys, I want to know your opinions from both Season 1 and the Battle Pass, or whatever you think that comes to mind when you watch this video, with a comment down below. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.